Hey everybody, this is Jeff Shannon with Inside Lacrosse here at Navy's Marine Corps Stadium. I covered today's Patriot League Championship between Loyola and Army. It was a dominating performance by Loyola, who won 14-6 over the Black Knights. The game was driven by freshman attackman Pat Spencer, who finished with 10 points, split between 5 goals and 5 assists. Jay Drapeau, Zach Hairwires, and Tyler Albrecht also finished with 2 goals apiece for the Greyhounds. Loyola freshman goalie Jacob Silver also had a game-high 10 saves, while Graham Savio won Patriot League Tournament MVP honors after a 15-for-23 performance from the Face-Off X for the Greyhounds. Loyola has earned a spot in this year's NCAA tournament. They have off next weekend while they wait for the field to be announced.
Welcome to the Epic IL Game Day Recap Show. I am Matt Kinnear here with Dan Aburn. It is Conference Tournament Championship Week. 2 automatic qualifiers to the NCAA tournament have been punched, 8 more to go this week. And we start with a very surreal experience at the ACC Tournament Championship, where weather wreaked havoc and had one of the craziest finishes we'll probably ever see in a conference tournament. Dan, you watched the ACC Championship. What did you take away from Syracuse's win and berth into the NCAA tournament?
Well, like you said, it was definitely a very bizarre game. We ended up watching the final 7 minutes of the game on Periscope. But Syracuse, lots of momentum for them right now, I think. They slowed it down in this game, I thought. It looked like a much more patient version of Syracuse than we've seen in their past games. And I think that patient offense was really able to overcome Kyle Rowe with the face-off X for Duke. I also thought Syracuse's outside shooters, they were very successful against Danny Fowler. Obviously, that great goal by Dylan Donahue at the end of the first quarter, I thought that was just the exclamation point of the game for them. As for Duke, you got to worry about them a little bit. They looked a little tired in that third quarter. And I know when we were watching the game, me, Patrick McEwen, Kyle Devitt, we were asking ourselves, who does this extended break benefit more? And we all thought Duke because they have only that one real midfield. And coming out of the break, Syracuse just blew the doors off. So it was very interesting to see that.
Yeah, Syracuse a 5-0 run in that 7 minutes of play that was played after the 3-hour rain delay, winning the ACC AQ.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff Shannon with Inside Lacrosse here at Homewood Field, covering this year's version of the rivalry, where the Terps walked away with an 11-8 win over Johns Hopkins. It was a tight affair between the two teams, but Maryland's defense stood out, really locking down Hopkins' offense all through the game. Maryland's scoring was led by Brian Cole, who notched 1 goal and 3 crucial assists. Matt Rambo scored 2 goals, Connor Kelly had 2, Colin Heacock, Dylan Maltz also added 2 apiece. Johns Hopkins' Ryan Brown led the way for the Blue Jays with 3 goals, and Patrick Frazier ran with the second midfield and scored 2. Maryland's really suffered at the face-off X today, going only 5 for 22. Freshman Austin Henningsen did not play again for the 4th game in a row. Still, Maryland was opportune in their shooting and scored 3 goals in the final 4th quarter to make it the 11-8 score. Also, a special shout out to goalie Kyler Bernlohr of Maryland, who made 7 saves, including 3 in the 4th quarter. That was huge.
This is Jason Myers in Denver after the DU Marquette game. Denver won this tilt, the score of 14-11. It was cold and snowy and rainy all day here. Really bad conditions, but both teams played a good game. High score for the game was actually Ryan McNamara for Marquette. He had 3 goals and 4 assists. And Marquette's Kyron Clark had 3 goals and an assist as well. To lead the Pioneers, Connor Cannizzaro had 4 goals and an assist. Zach Miller had 1 goal and 4 assists. Tyler Pace had a hat trick. Excellent performance all around for the number 1 team in the country. Trevor Baptiste had 19 face-off wins. The first quarter was actually his worst of the day. He went 2 for 6, and then the rest of the day he went 6 for 8. 5 for 6 and 6 for 8 again, finished with 19. So very strong performance by the Denver face-off crew as well. Denver got off to a pretty good start. They scored the first 2 goals of the game, and then Marquette went on a big run, scoring 3 in a row. Then Denver had 3 in a row, and then Marquette had 2 in a row. So they went and tied at halftime at 6. And then DU went on a major run, scoring six unanswered goals in the third quarter to push the score to 12-6. After that frame, Marquette clawed back in the fourth, scoring 3 in a row before Denver broke up that run. But the final score was, again, 14-11 in favor of the Pioneers. Looking ahead, both teams are going to be out in Denver later this week for the Big East Final, where we'll find out who's going to get that automatic qualifier for the big dance. Again, Jason Myers for Inside Lacrosse Magazine.
Sticking with the conference tournament themes, perhaps no regular season matchups had as much to do with postseason as the CAA this weekend. A lot came down to the final weekend. Towson beat Hofstra 8-7 in what started as a defensive slugfest, and Towson broke open the game in the second half. When they're shooting, their offense is tough to beat, and the defense is the best in the league. And the best thing I like about the defense, they're the least penalized in the CAA. Towson will host the CAA tournament. They'll play number 4 Drexel. Number 2 Fairfield will play number 3 Hofstra in the other matchup. In the America East, number 1 Albany takes on Hartford. Number 2 Stony Brook takes on Vermont. The Big Ten, number 1 Maryland takes on Penn State. Number 2 Johns Hopkins takes on Rutgers. The Big East, number 1 Denver takes on Providence. Marquette and Villanova rematch in a game that Marquette won handily last time. In the Ivy League, number 1 host Brown takes on Harvard. Yale takes on Penn in the only semifinal that is going to be played on Friday. In the MAC, number 1 Quinnipiac versus Canisius. Number 2 Marist versus Monmouth. The NEC, number 1 St. Joe's hosts Robert Morris. Number 2 Bryant plays Hobart. And in the Southern Conference, number 1 Air Force takes on number 4 Bellarmine. Number 2 Richmond plays High Point. That's it for the Epic IL Game Day Recap show. Check back for all the conference tournament coverage this weekend on InsideLacrosse.com. I'm Matt Kinnear with Dan Aburn. Make sure to gear up for the rest of the summer with the Epic Otter Mesh, Dragonfly Shaft, and Sequel Head.